Hello.
Try it out.
Oh,
We can be heard. Hooray! Check out that awesome piece of art, y'all. Also, that's not fetid. I still haven't updated that. I've also got, that is just amazing.
Ridiculous.
I love it.
Super good.
Yay.
I don't know how he does it, man.
Grandpa gonna sploosh.
God, I love those.
She's wearing
I'm
our
gonna
new
make
merch.
one of these before next week.
God, right?
Wear the
Might
shirt
have
on
to
the
stuff a
on the
little
stream.
bit.
So good. And then the cutest.
So good.
There he is. There's a logo boy.
Oh,
Oh.
He's such a good boy.
is Sam's version up there too? I love that his and Sam's version are just like your own style version of the same.
Yup. I love seeing other people draw my characters. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, it's funny because
give or take.
I drew him too, but I tried making him like a tricolor corgi just because I always default to drawing two color ones. And I thought I would try and mix it up, but otherwise they're very similar.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
We are back.
All right. So,
Loot the bodies.
I should announce also that we have tipped over the tipping point,
Hey.
and everyone's going to be getting an inspiration back.
Nice.
Yay! Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
As I shove my face of food.
Food of face.
So you can put some inspirations back on those trackers there, Alina.
Yippers. That's what I'm doing.
And I think we need to, I don't remember how we reset the tip jar so we can start it over again.
Mm-hmm. Good question.
One of these weeks we're going to get, I've just been keeping track of the math.
Yeah.
I'll probably just do that for now.
I think you'll need to.
One of these weeks we want to
know how
get
to
a
set that
bar
up.
that appears so that people can see the progress. It's just so much easier. But
Yeah.
we will try and get that going.
If you could only just also do a second tip jar where they can tip the villains.
Oh, right. Yep.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
what I really like, what some people do with the tip with the bar, is that at certain thresholds, everybody gets inspiration, and then at higher other thresholds, so every so many inspirations that you guys get, I get something. So, but in any case, we are good to pick up where we left off. So, where were we? So you had Copernicus. You had just dipped into the brain of these guys and determined just off the top that one of them is much stronger willed than the other. There is actually a significant difference in saving throw. And I'm going to keep us in combat time briefly just because they get a roll to break out of this every round.
Oh, that's right.
So you have to kind of decide what you want to do about them fairly quickly. So after
Which one is the one with
Copernicus,
strong? Which one is the one with the stronger will?
well, it depends on what Copernicus says.
So I'm going to point to the one that I think is weaker.
It's
No,
the one who's floating.
no, I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to point to the one. How monstrous am I willing to be?
I'm pretty willing to be pretty monstrous. If you're
I
not,
like this.
It's a pretty good thing to ask.
Okay, I'm going to write to Tromlin in the book. that the one on the left or right is weaker of will, and will break first, but he doesn't know that yet, so we might be able to play them against each other. So I'll write that while I stare at them and scroll quickly, and I'll say, "Interesting, interesting. I wonder which of you will break first." And I'll rub my hands in a creepy way. In fact, I might even play this up a bit with some. Can I add some like prestidigitation or thaumaturgy like screams or menacing effects to my?
I'll say you can sort of have a little bit of that echoing awfulness on your voice.
Okay.
Next, it's Glorpa's turn.
Oh, jeez. I didn't know.
So you didn't hear anything except what Copernicus said out loud, which is, "I wonder which of you will break first."
Right. And they're both held.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were breaking out of this, so I thought it was all just Mr. Pruny.
I just need to keep giving them saving throws is the issue. I have to keep giving them saving throws.
Oh, it's right.
You don't have to do anything.
True. Cool. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep watching. Just gonna get out of the water. How about that? I'll get out of the water and stop being creepy Glorpa waterfall and hop on out.
Sounds good.
Okay. So I want to see which one breaks first.
I have an idea to help it along.
Okay. I make a saving throw for them. They both fail it, so they are still held for now. And we go back up to the top. So is anyone doing anything else in particular?
I mean, I am going to look intimidatingly at both of them and like smack the head of my hammer into my hand and be like, I can do some breaking.
Oh, are you going to attempt to do a menacing?
I am, because that's a thing that I am.
Demoralize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll me your intimidate.
Ooh, oh, I rolled low. Oh, but I have a +6. Okay, that's 17.
I rolled very badly. 17. So that means you rolled 11. I rolled a 5.
Oh, that's much worse.
And I don't have a high
No.
insight. Anyways, yeah, you.
I also get a plus. All right, that's right.
Yeah.
That was if I was doing this during an attack round.
Yeah. So basically, they are now frightened of you, or this one individual, because you have to make a target, a specific target. Frightened.
I don't know which one is gonna break first, but I
Yeah,
will just look at one of them.
You were not privy to what happened.
Yeah, randomize it, and I will stare at that one.
Yep, I have randomized it.
Cool. Yeah, Ugna suddenly turns on the like. Tromlin has seen this in the ring. She can get very scary when she's performing. If she has to play the heel.
Yeah, Ugna sort of transforms from the haha, everything's just funny, to the Jesus Christ, that person could destroy me.
And would not even break a sweat.
So Sam, are you doing anything, or are you just sort of watching this play out?
I guess I'm just watching this play out. Like, do I think that these guys are from the bandit camp, or?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You've seen these guys around there.
Okay.
But you also know that there's more of them.
Yeah.
So there's not like an infinite amount of time to hang around.
Right. Well, maybe I'm gonna take this opportunity because I can now tell that these are the people I was looking for.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're kind of recognizable. Well, I tell a lot of you that there's a lot more where these guys came from. So maybe we shouldn't, mess around. And I think that's it. Are you saving throw again?
Oh, that's good. Sorry, I was just sending a message on Discord here. So that brings us to back to these guys. So Tromlin, Copernicus, what you doing?
I'm walking up to the one that is not floating because I've been alerted that he is not the weaker of the two.
Yep.
And he's also the one I'm holding.
Yep.
Making eye contact with the one who's floating, I'm going to put a dagger in the one not floating's mouth, cut his tongue out, and walk over and put it in the bucket.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Damn, dude.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Is that an intimidation
Oh.
check of some form?
I would think so. It's also
Do I
going to
need
do
to-
some damage.
Do I need to do a roll?
You could roll the damage for me. It's just going to be your like
A
a normal
D4.
dagger situation. Just roll me a D4 plus 3.
Oh, 7.
It's a significant amount of damage.
I really got in there deep.
Yeah.
As I walk to the bucket, I sprinkle some spices on it, like some cumin and a little bit of salt and pepper.
Right.
Gotta,
Toss it in, reseal it. I'm getting very familiar with this bucket.
I see this runs in the family.
I would give you intimidation with advantage on that.
Sounds good. +4. Oh, thank God it's advantage. I rolled. My lesser is a 1, which would be a 5, and the other one, 17, 21.
Very, very intimidated.
You don't
Now they're
say.
both frightened. Very
I'm
intimidated and
also a little
also harmed.
I thought you were going to say aroused. I'm like, well, you know.
No,
You never know.
No.
These guys aren't very adventurous.
Oh
are
yeah,
they?
I was just checking to see how this works, but they don't. Getting damaged doesn't break hold person, so yeah, he can't move. He continues
That's
to be unable
nasty.
to move.
As
Yeah.
he watches something in a bucket eat his tongue.
Copernicus, it's your turn. How are you gonna follow that up? Oh yeah, you're muted.
We can't hear you.
You're gonna
Sorry.
talk silently like they do.
So I'm going to approach the one who has a tongue, but with pulling my sacrificial knife out, saying, "Oh, and now time for the other one. Unless we only need one to cooperate. Will you cooperate?" And he sees like I've got blood all over me from having cut myself with this knife that has blood all
Yep.
over it.
Yep. There's a
I'm
lot of
already
blood.
Licking the butcher.
There's a lot of blood here.
So I don't know what sort
I'm
of
gonna
knife
call
it-
this. If I'm just gonna call this role playing time. We don't worry about whose initiative order it is,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna make saving throws every so often as I see that it being fit.
Oh, I
So just let me know
you
if-
tie them up.
Oh yeah. Get out some rope.
You also want to do anything otherwise? I think. Well, we'll just. Yeah, you mentioned you were going to tie them up.
Mhm.
I just like silently still keeping eye contact with them, like take out rope and come towards them.
And I'm going to be detecting the
Tie 'em
thoughts.
up.
I know the guy who's held can't speak, but I'll be detecting his thoughts for like acquiescence or like, oh fuck, I give up. I want to know the exact moment his will breaks.
That's a good point. That was very, very intimidating. Okay, well, the exact moment his will breaks is now because I gave him one saving throw and he rolled a 1. So immediately, with the whole cut out the tongue and then you coming at him with the knife covered in blood, this floating old man coming towards him just covered in blood with like this demonic looking dagger, while his friend just had his tongue cut out, and this big orc woman who's just demolished his friends comes towards him with the ropes.
He's not the victim here.
Yeah,
That's true.
he's
Important. to-
gonna. He's gonna
Someone
break
hurt the
instantly.
corgi, okay?
He's gonna break instantly. Yeah, in his mind he's like, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. And you're like, yeah,
And I'll be like,
yeah,
"Good."
this one. This one.
When someone's held personed, can you like reposition their limbs? Like make the guy who's still held, who we don't need, like can I make him hug a rock before I kick him off the cliff?
I mean, he is in bad shape. He is very bloodied.
These are all murdering
So-
cultists, so I do not feel bad. I would feel bad if these people had,
I
had
mean,
not.
that's
you were
fair.
at the place where the ritual was.
Yeah.
So Ugna,
Yeah.
you quickly tie up the one guy that's kind of floating with the levitate. What are you guys doing with the other guy?
I think we
The
just
one,
kick him
the
off.
one who has no tongue.
I think this is Sparta him.
Just kick him off the waterfall.
I'm picturing Copernicus doing it, like floating up to him and going, "This is Sparta," and like kicking, but because he's flying, he just he goes backwards instead, and it's just like maybe someone else should do that. So what's up? Are you just chucking this guy in the river?
I think let the river decide his fate. Then we're not murderers.
Oh,
The
okay.
river's the
Well,
murderer.
while you're
I think we're
considering
past
it,
that point.
he breaks out of the hold person.
Ooh.
So at this point, actually though, he's still frightened. Yeah, he just breaks and runs. So he breaks out. So as you're tying up the floating guy and you're sort of saying this about the other guy, what are we gonna do with this guy? Maybe it's the time to put him in the river. He suddenly breaks free of Tromlin's hold person and flees back up the stairs, kind of making like strangled noises because he doesn't have a tongue anymore. Like he would be shouting but can't, or spellcasting but
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, I forgot. He
Hey, look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, he can't
Oh.
Hard
cast
to do
these
those
spells that have
somatic,
verbal components.
yeah, verbal.
nice mistake there, buddy.
Yeah.
Actually, let me check. He might have a spell that he can cast. He might have a spell that he can cast that doesn't have a verbal component.
How quickly is he fleeing? Like, is there
Yeah.
attacks of opportunity from folks?
No, but slow enough. Like he's fleeing in fear, and you have like a pretty damn good movement. You can easily chase him down and get a round in on him if you want.
Sounds good. I kind of like look to Tromlin, like, should I?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Don't worry about it. He's in bad enough shape that he doesn't have the raging thing going on.
I pick up a rock and I just
He's a
huck it
raging
after
fit.
him. Just to
Well,
huck the
that
rock
won't
at his
take
head.
him out.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
That won't take him out. He's not
Then
that
I-
bad.
Then I
that
run
good.
up and I just
Yeah,
give
you
him a little
chase him down.
conk on the head.
We'll- Yeah, you chase him down and you get in hand-to-hand combat with him. It actually takes a bit. You have to you get in hand-to-hand combat with him. He's gonna turn on the rage
Right.
since he can't cast spells anyway, and like try to stab you with a sword he had in his belt, and you smash him down with a hammer.
Yeah.
It doesn't take you very long. He's in bad enough shape that you'll be able to take him out quickly.
During the fight, can I prestidigitate or thaumaturge just more screaming sounds than are actually happening from the other cultists, but like make it sound like it's a scream with no tongue, more
Sure.
blows landing, really play up like what? Because he can't turn to see what's happening to his friend. He's just frozen in fear and hold. So I figured let's take advantage of that and just give him the full surround sound experience.
Give you a total
the
of another
daddies?
10 damage from him during the remaining fight, but in the round or two it takes you to finish him off. And now you have
I
this
got
other
a
guy
whole
who's tied
7
up.
hit points left.
I'll say if you move, if you try to escape, we will make sure that you don't die, but wish you could. Cooperate. Come with us now.
Yeah,
Where's
in
our-
his mind, he's like, you also hear at this point the sound of a horn echoing through the hills.
I think
God.
I need to get out of dodge.
Yeah, Ugna comes back down the stairs and she's looking pretty beat up, but she's also dragging this guy behind her by the cuff, and he's just going like thud, thud, thud down the stairs.
Ugna, you're gonna get back 10 points.
The 10
Awesome.
that were taken.
That doubled
I'm gonna-
what I had currently.
I'm going to turn to our swashbuckling friend and say, you seem to have been studying this area. Where do we go?
Yes, I have. I can lead you to safety and tell you about more information about the area once we're not like in the immediate danger zone.
Cool.
You would say up is the best option because that's where you were up in the hills.
Right.
But that might you kind of look at your eye up this group and are like, climbing.
I like loom over
that
you
guy's
for a moment.
flying.
I loom over for a moment, still dragging this guy behind me, and I look at you and I go, okay, I got 2 questions. 1,
Mhm.
who are you? And 2, why are you so cute?
Well, I don't think I'm actually cute. I really think I'm more kind of like, like inspiring and maybe like a little intimidating.
Oh no, but you're so
Yeah.
cute! Like, you're so cute!
I also
mean,
think you're
I'm
very
so sorry. But you are. I just had to say it.
I am a good boy. But I am also a legendary hero of the region. My name is Greg, and it's technically short for something else, but I forget what it is.
Gregarion.
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 Of course. I thought maybe it was just Greg with like 3 extra G's at the end.
Greg.
Um,
With an E on the end.
Greg, short for Greg.
That's how you sign
Greg.
your name.
Yeah. I mean, I can't write. I probably can't. Yes, but I fancy myself a folk hero, like of course, like the legendary Elgato, who I'm sure you're all very familiar with, right? No?
Have we heard of Elgato?
Elgato, the hero
I'd
of the
give
South.
I'd give a history roll,
yeah.
particularly for Copernicus,
Yeah.
because he's got the
11.
historian trait.
Haven't heard of him.
You never heard of him.
Nope.
Okay.
13. Probably not.
Not really.
17.
Yes, you have. Not like a legend like you would know of, like from the past, but in your more recent travels, and certainly when you've been to the south, you've heard of a folk hero called Elgato, who like robs from the rich and gives to the poor. Similar to, like helps the downtrodden, sort of like a less filthy version of Fetid. Depends on where sort of how you define the downtrodden is sort of, it's like there's like poor peasants, farmers, and then there's like people who literally live in the sewers.
And I'm gonna guess this Elgato is either a cat person or a cake person, depending on the language from which their name is derived.
Cat person.
And
person.
cake.
I choose
Yes.
to believe my headcanon is still that it's a cake hero. Made of
I
cake.
mean, who can say?
Could be a cat person who likes cake.
That's true. That's true.
Could be both.
Right.
Could be 2
I'll say,
things.
of course, Elgato, a true hero of the South.
Yeah, he's like he's like Robin Hood or Zorro, but like not anachronistic. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway,
Also, no.
I like his shtick, so I'm also doing it. But in like more of a dog kind of way.
I do hear that dogs like shticks.
Yeah. Can't get enough of it.
Words are growing louder.
Yes. So anyway, let's scurry off to safety. If you like, I can lead you to the bandit camp because I know where it is.
The one that we found a bandit camp, but it was we were too late to find any living bandits there. That's a strange way to say that.
Oh,
They all
like
died.
zombie bandits?
They were all
We
murdered.
had to deal with
Well-
zombie bandits. Oh man, the regular ones are. Well, okay. No, this is not like normal alive bandits, like the ones that we just made not so alive now.
They're
Lovely.
tougher to fight.
Well then,
Do they
I
got
mean, they're
that?
pretty terrible, actually.
Do they got that knife symbol on them?
The wiggly knife?
Do I know if they have that?
Yes, you do, and they do.
They do.
Also, this is a good point for us to start another poll. So again, I will ask that the players don't look at the chat because there's going to be a poll appearing in it. And audience in the chat, you're going to be seeing a poll right away here. Again, please vote. You can goose up your votes if you want to. Reminder, as always, subscribers get double votes. And that'll run for about 10 minutes.
You can goose up your vote, but please don't vote for the goose.
I'm not going to say whether a goose is involved in this vote. There has
No.
previously been a vote for a horrible goose, but I will not reveal whether a horrible goose is involved in this vote. Vote. What else was I going to say? So then, you're right. I would like you guys to make perception rolls at this point. Everyone except for Sam, you don't need to roll one.
That's a 16 for Ugna.
Okay, this is a pretty high threshold. This one.
I got a 9.
It's a-
22.
There you go.
All
You're
right.
the one who's going to notice it. All right. Nobody else notices this as Greg is leading you to the cliff wall, and I'll actually get Sam to roll me an athletics check, which you are very good at.
$26.
So Greg quickly begins to ascend the cliff face and climb back up the way back up to the hillside that he jumped down from, and is saying, "Follow me." And as you are moving to find ways to climb up after him, I will point out actually that Perny, you should still have flight up. You didn't cast another concentration spell in all this.
Nope.
So it's still running, and that means it's still on Ugna as well.
So I can still fly.
Which means you can just grab everyone remaining, because it's
Yeah.
just Glorpa
Nice.
and...
So I've been like fighting on the
Text dots is
ground.
concentration.
What's
so
that?
When I cast,
right.
when I cast detect thoughts, it would have broken my flight.
detect off thoughts. Sorry, that's
Yeah.
also concentration.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
never mind. Flight is no
I mean,
longer...
I can still climb up the cliff pretty good, hopefully.
You want to make me a roll if you're
Yeah,
going straight
I'll do
after?
athletics. Holy crap.
You're
29.
very good at this.
29.
Yeah, this is like, you have expertise in athletics.
I will get Tromlin to like jump on my back,
Mm-hmm.
hold on, and then just like
Crouch down and Hulk leap halfway up the cliff face.
I'm definitely not matching that.
Mm-mm.
Can I attach some fishing line to Ugna somewhere and then just...
You don't even have to fly. You're just kiting up. That leaves only
Okay.
Glorpa.
Could I have grabbed you on the way or
Sure.
no?
Yeah, give it a go.
Oh, good. I was waiting for you to pick me up.
Possibly, but you could also just turn into a bird or something.
I was wondering, I know I still have polymorph, can I turn into a different animal during that? Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, you've got like a bunch of wild shapes left. You've only used
I'm gonna
one.
turn into a very large dragonfly instead.
Cool.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think you've got 4 wild shapes per day. Yes.
Oh, it's right. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
So you can turn into a bird and fly up. So as Ugna is like heaving Copernicus and Tromlin on her back, and then like just running up this wall, Tromlin, you sort of call your monkey to come back over, since he's still loose there, and he leaps over onto your shoulder. But as he does so, you notice on some of these fallen bodies here, or in particular on the fallen body, I guess there's only one left, because the others all got yeeted into the ocean, or into the river. The one that's lying dead, you notice that the tattoo that he has is a little different than the other tattoos you've seen. They all have that exact same symbol of the circle that's kind of crescented on one side, where the handle is, that then has the wavy dagger that goes across. But this
Mhm.
particular tattoo has a blood drop at the tip of the dagger.
Ooh.
And you don't remember seeing that on any of the other tattoos.
Okay, I'm gonna mention that to the group. Like, his tattoo is slightly different.
You're sort of like, as you're like ascending, you're like looking down, and like and as he disappears towards the distance, you're like, that guy's tattoo's different.
I'll point it out.
Oh.
It makes me wonder if it's a denotation of maybe he has higher power in the group.
Does
Have
that
we-
mean anything to me, Lane? Or
I mean, no, you hadn't noticed. You hadn't noticed before. It's something you might be on the lookout for now. I mean, you see them all with this tattoo. You just kind of, it's all the same. You just kind of start eventually, not paying attention to it. So you hadn't noticed up until now that they have different tattoos or that any of them has different tattoos.
All right.
So once you get up to the top, you can quickly lead the group to somewhere to hide.
Well, let's do that then. That seems like a good idea. I am very good at hiding.
Oh, and can we confirm that we have the prisoner that we're taking with us? We're able to get him up the cliff, and also that he stays bound. Because I know Ugna had to kind of run off before I think she tied them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, Ugna tied him
I
up
tied
first.
the one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think that's fine. It would not be encumbering for Ugna to grab the two of you and the prisoner.
So I think he's floating, so we may just
Oh,
need
yeah.
to like.
Yeah,
see, like, a
actually-
I just got him
balloon.
like a balloon.
You just like poke him every once in a while. Boop, boop, boop.
Poke him too hard.
I could have ridden him up a waterfall, like a weird version of Up. Like I'm the weird old man with the balloon taking him to the top,
Covered in blood.
covered in blood.
And your bucket.
Yeah.
So Glorpa has a pass without trace that can be thrown up here for you guys to get hidden fast and well. So I'm just going to hand wave and say that between magic from people like Glorpa and with the your scout friend here, Greg. Greg quickly leads you to a nice little crevice, a nice little hiding place in the hill nearby, where he's been sort of holed up, and
Greg
he's got
universe.
like his bedroll and stuff there, where he was kind of like hiding out. And it's a dog bed.
It's a little dog bed.
It's like a roll-up dog bed.
So cute.
It's just his little campsite is like the dog bed and a few dog toys that he's just like put up. He stows them all in his pack, in his little backpack.
Aww.
So cute.
That's really
good.
adorable.
Instead of a water skin, he's got a dog dish.
When we get there, Ugna's eyes are just like shining. It's too cute.
Well, welcome to my little home. It's temporary, of course, just while I was doing the research. I've been looking forward to you guys arriving. I was told that some people would be coming to help with the bandit situation. I'm not sure who I was told that by. People, a small bird told me. I can't remember.
You would have been sent. You were sent to. I think I just said the Quaggles, but specifically, you were sent a note by Pod Quaggle.
That guy.
Yeah.
So
He's
excited.
the.
Oh,
Yep.
the little guy. Oh, okay. If you're a friend of his, then you're a friend of us.
Oh, that's good. I do like to make friends. I
Yeah.
am here to make friends.
Good. Yeah, me too.
Love that
Uh,
we actually put a trait on this character. He took the trait likable, and it has been. I haven't had to mention it.
He's a corgi. He's
Yeah.
super cute.
You're all
All
just
for
doing it
likability.
automatically.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Whew, is this,
Well, you
is this
said
place
that the-
safe?
Sorry. What?
Is this place safe? I'm real tired. I'm just gonna, and like sit down.
Seems like a good idea. And old man, what were you gonna say?
I was going to ask. You said that the bandits that you could take us to,
Yeah.
they're the same mark as the ones we just fought, which
That's
is
true.
And what sort of what kind of activities have they been up to?
Well, I would know this, but Lane, you would probably want to just say it. You know what I know.
True.
Greg goes into this kind of, authoritative state as though he's like shifting into a different character, and then the booming voice of the DM comes out of his mouth and tells you the pertinent information.
Or I missed the specifics of the question.
Oh, it's the dog trick known as speak. What are the bandits like? What kind of activities have they been up to that I've been observing?
So you've only been here for like about a day.
Okay.
And so you know that there's a small camp of bandits here, and about a dozen of them came in last night up the secret way from the ravine.
Mm-hmm.
With their they have like these little lightweight boats, 2-person boats that they actually portage with them up the stairs. And the top of the stairs, the ridge, the crevice that the steps are in kind of continues, and they go over the stairs, and then there's a little hollow in the hill beyond, and that's where their camp is. So it's all rocky cliffs on the back side of the camp, which is only really accessible through this chasm. And on the front side, looking down over the hillside, they have like a big, heavy wooden defensive palisade. It's a really well defended little camp, and they come and go. You know these raiders, these bandits, not really as bandits. They're like a tribe of raiders that used to live further out in the hills and harass people, but more recently they're involved with this some kind of banditry. Like there's some kind of squabble between different groups of bandits going on right now, and these guys are really sticking it to other bandits. So you've seen them in the past come down and actually attack travelers on the road, so you know that they're bandits. But the involvement of this tribal group, which you've known about for years, but they used to be much further out. They didn't used to be be like involved with the other bandits in town here. They used to be just like nomads. And they've got a name for themselves that is like Night something or something Night. But you don't, yeah, whatever.
The Night Riders.
They're they're like night raiders. They've got some sort of, or night killers, something like that. And they've got like they're really good stealth magic. They're really good at ambushing. And you've always had to kind of keep an eye out for them when you're far away from town.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, this whole thing with them like coming in and slaughtering other bandits is recent. And so you were sent word from Podquaggle. He sent you a note that a bird carried to you while you were out, kind of like scouting in the wilds for the quaggles and keeping the quaggles safe. That these friends of the quaggles, that's how they described it. And there's supposed to be a quaggle amongst them, but you haven't seen them. There's supposed to be like a kobold with these guys. And that the kobold was helping these guys do something about the bandits. And so Pod sent you word because he knows that you are familiar with these bandits, or at least with these raiders, to scout out and find this camp and lead these guys here, and help them sort of like spy on the place. You know of a pretty good vantage point on another hill, or on the hill that overlooks the crevice, where you could lead these guys so they can get a good look down on the bandits. That's where you've been lately for the past days, watching the camp from the hillside.
Well, I convey all of that to you, but in my own voice.
Thanks for all your intel.
And
you're welcome.
do you know if there's any connection between these bandits with the sign and the cult of the Raven Queen?
Do I know that?
What now?
Do I know if
Never
there's a
heard of it.
connection between?
You just do like a
Never
little
heard of a
corgi
cult
head
of the
cock at him, like,
Never heard
what?
of it. No idea.
Oh?
And
Don't know what that is.
does the name Shaylin Tark mean anything to you?
Lane?
Does it?
You're not. You think you've heard that name? Like you think you like when you were spying on the Raiders, like not here recently, but like a while back when you were spying on some of these Raiders. You remember one of them mentioning
Oh.
Shaylin. You remember hearing the name Shaylin, or at
Okay.
least Shay. It might have been like abbreviated, but like that, it rings a bell because you remember hearing one of them say something about Shay. But yeah,
But that's it. Yeah,
that's it.
it
Like
sounds
yeah, but you don't know anything
familiar.
about it.
Yeah, I've heard of, but no, not recently. And I just the name is familiar.
Can I do a really quick bit of out of character clarification?
Yeah.
Just because I want to make sure that I understand the story as it stands. Because I had assumed, and I think wrongly assumed, and that would make sense because there's like a lot of different factions at work here. I had assumed that whoever killed these bandits was the Raven Queen people because we saw the Raven, because the sacrifice was connected in some way to the Raven Queen, right?
Yep.
And also the Warlock's familiar that we saw was a Raven, and I'm getting some
Yep.
serious Raven Queen vibes off that. So I had assumed that we were chasing down Raven cultists, but in fact, following the tracks of who we thought did this led us to, in fact, what is just the other bandit camp in the two bandit camp war that we've been come. But as far as we know, these aren't the bandits are not the same as the Raven cultists. They seem to not have a connection that Greg is
It
aware of.
seems
Anyway.
logical to you. This I have nothing to say negative about this impeccable logic that I'm hearing.
Okay.
As the
But it's
mind
just-
of Copernicus whirls along.
Okay, so we just have not
it
yet-
sounds very reasonable to you, in fact, that maybe these bandits are either Raven cultists or possibly
in league with.
pawns of the Raven cultists.
Okay.
You were uncertain. I mean, they definitely these guys that you tracked, Fetid tracked the group that did the attack on the other bandit camp.
Yeah.
And in fact did and you know that they did the ritual that you found, and you made contact with something related to that ritual, which led to the red-eyed raven showing up and telling you she's aware of you now.
Yeah.
Which seems ominous.
It's great news.
But this is definitely not what you were expecting. You weren't when you were like, we were tracking the Raven cultists, and we found them now. We found their camp, and it's
Just bandits.
a bunch of bandit barbarians.
Okay. So they're either pawns or they are in the Raven cult, but they are probably somehow connected, even if Greg is not.
And they were described just now.
Okay.
Greg did say that they had some like stealth magics and stuff like that, and you saw them doing a weird thing where they were doing what you presume was barbarian raging, but it was entirely silent.
Oh, here's the thing. So those guys just came out of nowhere. So they've got some kind of magic or something. Like I was there and there was no one there, and all of a sudden they jumped me from nowhere. So
I do think they are in league with powers, perhaps the very powers we've been chasing with the Raven cult since we first crossed their paths. Whether or not the bandits are in fact the same as the Raven cultists or are merely aligned with them, we don't know yet. But I think we best tread very carefully around them.
if this is a safe spot to stay for a little bit, I could use a bit of a nap before we go and like fight anybody else. I'm still feeling that one guy hit real hard.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd like to get back my 4 hit points.
I'll say, Alina, that you can have 15 hit points back because this will count as a short rest. So
Okay.
I just rolled a
Awesome.
surge for you.
Thank ya.
So you get another healing surge.
Heck yeah. And I can refresh my dice. My superiority dice.
Yeah, anyone who spent anything that short rests will bring back like your spell slots there, Copernicus.
Yeah.
So Ugna
you
like
can
takes
have-
out her water skin, mixes some protein powder into it, shakes it up, offers it around.
Cracks a raw egg into it.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm fine.
Okay. Oh, I should mention that the poll is over. If anybody cares to be back on the checking out the stream, it's no longer it's safe again for players
Yeah.
to be doing so. So I missed if it was said, but Greg has offered to lead you to the camp or to a place where you can watch the camp or what have you.
I offer Greg some of the like incredibly hard beef jerky that is our trail rations.
Oh,
It's
that's
kind
pretty
of
good.
like a pig's ear.
Greg starts chewing on it, and his little tail of nubbin, which is visible because I guess he has a hole in his pants. Little tail
Yes.
nubbin.
This is ideal. This is the content I crave.
Good.
What did you give him exactly?
Just like one of
Jerky.
my beef jerky rations.
What?
It's real salty. You can chomp on that.
Yeah, probably enjoy that.
Yeah.
I guess we can all give him like chin scratches
Oh.
with permission.
Yeah, please. Yes, that's acceptable. I will allow it.
Just because I cut someone's tongue
Well,
out doesn't mean I don't believe in consent.
You saw the kind of damage that he was doing with that rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows where to
True.
stick that.
I have sent many people to have long naps,
Big naps.
big timeouts for bad behavior.
If Trumlin is giving you a little head pat, Ugna's like lining up behind him, being like, he'll give you a very gentle head pat.
Oh,
Aw.
Oh, and
So
can
you're
I
just taking or sorry, go ahead.
can I heal during the short rest too? I've never actually done a short rest in fighting
No.
before.
You can spend. You have the choice of spending hit dice for healing during a short rest,
I don't
but that
actually know.
obviously has limits. You only
Okay,
have so
yeah.
many hit dice.
Um,
But if you want to, you can spend some hit dice. You have 7 hit dice, and
What
you can
other
roll
things do
them.
you spend hit dice for?
This is it.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, I'm gonna heal then, because I'm
But
down.
the point is, like, let's say you get let's say you don't get another long rest until you've had like 3 or 4 short rests. If you use all your hit dice now, you won't have any left for the next short rest, right?
Yeah. But I mean,
But if you
if
have an
the hit
expectation
points are
that a
getting
long
used,
rest is coming, yeah.
yeah. And if the hit points are getting used, in those cases, the hit points are getting used up one way or another. So I may as well top
Yep.
up now while I'm not in a rush or in the brink of death.
So,
I'm-
you can roll as many of your 7 dice as you choose, and for each die you add your con modifier, and that's how many hit points you get back. And the same goes for anybody else who wants to do any additional healing.
Mm.
So I roll. So for me, my hit dice are D8. So I'd roll.
Yeah. So
D8
if you
plus-
choose to, let's say you want to use 3 of them, then you would roll 3d8 and add your Constitution 3 times, which is plus 6.
I'm gonna use 4.
So 4d8 plus 8.
Yeah, because I'm out 36 damage, which is a lot
That's
for
a
me.
That's a
fair
lot.
bit.
Lane,
Yeah.
what you
I
rolled
mean,
for me, was that my rest or was that my
That was just your healing surge.
Oh, okay, cool. So I can actually
Because
rest.
you got a healing surge
Yeah.
back, and that one obviously doesn't use up your hit dice.
I'm sorry, you said we could all do this? This bit of nap
Yeah, if you've got
healing?
damage you want to heal, yep, you can get a quick heal. How much damage are you down?
Down 12.
So yeah, you got
Um,
7 d8s for hit dice. So you could spend like
Oh.
2 of them and roll 2d8 plus 4. That's probably going to get most of them back.
Oh, nice. I'm sorry. I'm sitting here thinking which one is 8. It's the one that ends in 8. All right.
Yeah.
I've got a 9. Wait, that's not possible. This is not an 8-sider, obviously. This is the one. All right, 4.
It's a little
Oh.
pointier than the 10 sided.
Yeah, I gotcha. That's 8 total for 2 rolls. So I can just add that on?
And then plus 4, so that's 12. So you're full.
Oh, well, that's great. All right.
Nice.
I'll take that. Thank you.
Perfect. A perfect roll.
Excellent.
I regained
Excellent.
29 of my 36. I'm down 7.
Excellent.
Cool.
So what do you guys want to do? So you're taking a short rest. You're just eating some like cold food out of the pack.
Oh, and I might nudge Tromlin to. Do you think we should update Dangulf on our location?
Hmm.
You also have a tied up guy.
Oh yeah.
I will remind you.
Yeah, we
Oh,
should probably
yeah.
let Dangolf know
Well,
what's going on.
Is Feta just like floating around somewhere?
Yeah, you lost track of
He's
him at
Gone
the
off
lake.
for a-
He's still in the
a little
lake,
trip.
maybe.
That's our new spin-off series. It's what Fetid's doing, floating around, having adventures.
Where in the world is Fetid Quaggle?
Excellent.
Love it.
He has like the red hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you could like send him word, but
Awesome.
you don't. He's one of the ones who didn't sign your book.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, yeah, he's in my book, isn't he?
Oh, did he? Oh, so
I
you could
was
send
the
word.
only one who held off.
The
Yeah.
chat said that Fetid bugged out.
Nah, bugged off.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's good.
Very, very
It's
good.
very good.
This is the content I crave.
Well, I'll send Fetid a message letting him know where we are now and that we're probably gonna head to the observation point. And that the corgi is a friend. He's a quaggle. Maybe you've heard of him. He's like Elgato. And and then we should probably torture the guy before we go to the observation point because observation points tend to be loud, like sound carries.
He might be able to tell some information too before we go in there. Like, if you get really
Yeah.
close, there's a magical alarm that goes off.
Yeah.
Good point.
Oh,
How
and
many
I
are
guess
Big on
there?
torture.
Yeah.
Said the corgi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Some of this information also Greg does know, like the numbers at the camp. You'd probably have a
Oh.
pretty good. Like you've been scouting it for a day,
Yeah.
so you'd probably have a pretty good feel for what's going on there.
So how many
You
are there?
also know that there's like or would there be? No. I was going to say that there might be women and children at the camp, but the tribes kind of range further out. This is like a war camp, so it would just be the warriors. You would say that there was probably before this bunch just got taken down, the group of 6 just now. There was probably like a good 20 of them, which is quite a few. Maybe actually no, I'm going to give you a more specific number because I was going to give you a range, but like you've been watching and counting, and even though you're a corgi, you could definitely count. You have an int of much more than yeah, you've got an int of 12. You're fine.
Yeah. It's not very wise.
That's better
so-
than Ugna, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to say there was 28 of them in total. There was 16 until the group came in last night, which was a group of it was a group of 11, and then one straggler that came in on their own.
Wow, they wiped out a camp of 50.
Yeah, with 12 people.
Yeah, but there was some kind of sleep thing going on, and
Yeah.
a serious ambush. So
Also, you just fought some of them.
Yeah,
they're tough.
And
they're tough.
yeah,
Okay. Oh, and before we talk anymore about this, I think this is probably a good time to like stuff straw in the ears of the prisoner so that he doesn't know how
Yeah.
little we know.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah. And then I'm gonna grand nephew son, would you like to take the lead on interrogating the prisoner?
Okay.
I mean, I interrogate. That sounds so harsh. Like I could. I mean, what if we just try and charm him into telling us nice things? Like, you know.
I
mean,
you
I-
love your house.
I'm very charismatic.
So am I.
Yeah, we could talk to him before we try and hurt him.
I mean, it's just normally, you know.
And then if they gotta hurt him, maybe you and I should go for a walk.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of interrogating. I mean, I send them to the sleepy place if they're bad. You know, but otherwise, I don't know about that. I don't know about.
Did any of my
Yeah.
spells come back during our short rest?
There's a feature that I am forgetting what it's called.
Because if so, there's a cleric spell I could definitely cast. That would be helpful.
It seems to me that clerics have an ability that they can gain back a certain number of spell slots with a short rest. I know that Danielle's Druid type has that. No, I might be misremembering.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll have to double check, but I don't think so.
And
I
no
don't think
zone
you
of
have a
truth
way to-
spell, sadly.
I can detect thoughts on him again and like really get into his brain as we ask questions.
I'm going to take his hand and say, "So you saw what I did with your friend's tongue, and that was removed from his mouth. I look at the bucket. What do you think it will feel like with your hand still attached, putting in there and getting fed on?"
I'm gonna detect thoughts on and just see what are.
Oh yeah, it's just in his surface thoughts. Now that he is no longer a frightened condition, he has actually gotten a lot more resolve, and his surface thoughts here are that his basic surface mental state, because it's just going to be kind of vague, but his basic surface thoughts here is that you will fail. The warriors will find and kill all of you. You will be slaughtered.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Ukna, come here real fast. Can you take this finger on his hand and this finger on his hand and cross them as far as you can go?
I immediately put on my like game face, just real mean, and come in really slowly with my really big fingers and grab his hand and start pulling.
Are you doing the menacing again?
Yep.
All right, make me that intimidate roll.
Whew.
I rolled pretty good on his insight, but his insight is not as good as your intimidate.
Well, I rolled a 13, and then I will add my 6 intimidation to that.
So that becomes a 19?
19, yep. I am willing to spend an inspiration on this if I need to.
Well, it is not sufficient unless you do, so.
Well, let's do this. I am going to... Nope, I'll mark myself off in a minute. 17 plus 6.
Yeah, you beat him.
23.
I rolled an 18 and I have a plus
Ooh,
3,
nice.
but that's not good enough.
I will take back the inspiration I just got.
And yeah, so you get right in there, and the surface thoughts kind of start changing to panic.
The warriors will find us and kill us, but we will hurt them a lot first. If we need to.
For Copernicus, if you want any specific piece of information, you can just say so, and he has to make a will save.
Yeah.
A wisdom save.
Yeah.
To avoid you getting that information.
Okay.
Let me just double check. I gave him the saving throw that he gets immediately when you cast it. I'm just double checking whether he if he breaks it, does it end? Let's see here.
Ugna's also good enough at wrestling that she's gonna try and like cause the maximum amount of pain without leaving any physical damage on him. Like I'm not actually gonna break his fingers, but he's gonna think I have.
Oh.
Yeah, so as soon as it makes the roll, so you can call for the wisdom saving throw anytime you're trying to get deeper than just the very surface thoughts. But if he makes it, your spell's over. But if he fails, you get the information.
I'm really glad there's no Geneva Convention
Jeez.
in this game.
What have you been asking here, Randy? What was the most recent here thing for surface thoughts?
Oh, well,
you're just trying to intimidate by crossing the fingers, but are you going to start asking questions?
Well, I thought my grandfather was going to.
I'm happy to do that. I'm happy for you to do it. However we want to play this. I will ask to start. What is your connection to the Raven Queen? I'm not going to probe yet. I want to save that for like.
Surface thoughts are like blank, like a blink who.
Huh.
He seems to have never heard of this.
So it could have been. This is me thinking out loud as a out of character for a second.
Yep.
So it could have been that they did the slaughter run, and then literally the scavenger type driven Raven Queen people came in and just used the bodies for a ritual. Although they don't like.
So
Yeah. Okay.
this one also might not be one. Remember, there's like nearly 30 at the camp, but
Yeah.
only 12 of them were involved with that attack.
Oh,
He might not
okay.
be one of the ones who was actually involved with that. You don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
You could try and find out.
Then
yeah.
I'll ask, did you raid the other bandits camp last night? Were you amongst that party?
Randomize. The surface thought is something along the lines of tell him nothing, say nothing, tell nothing. He's trying to deliberately trying to not give you information by just thinking the surface thought of no, you will not break me, you will get nothing from me. But
he's not
you can definitely
cooperating.
call for the actually, you know what, I'm going to give him a roll to see if he can even pull that off, because he has been frightened by Ugna.
Yeah, he should have some kind of penalty or
Yeah,
disadvantage on that.
He's holding out. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? No, he's holding out, but I will give him disadvantage on the saving throws against you.
I think that I'm going to. I think I'm going to still save the probe for something else, and just say that he's not cooperating.
So we
Perhaps
know
we need to apply a little more pressure.
When you call for the probes, because of the various things that you're doing to torture him, I'm going to give him disadvantage on their rolls.
Okay. But for now, I'm going to nod at Ugna in the way that I've seen Tromlin do, and see if Ugna is willing to do some more finger
Definitely
bending.
will. She will actually leave the fingers, because those are much harder to get good pain on without breaking them, and give him like an arm bar to really, really amp up the thing.
Right. Submission
Amp up
holds
the
are happening.
discomfort. Yep.
Really appreciate
So
that you
Ugna
do
puts
this.
him in a submission hold. You
Does
put him
he
in a
have any-
sharpshooter.
Does he have any open cuts on him?
What are you gonna do?
Oh
He has a
god.
spice
Oh no,
kit.
Tromlin's a chef. It's like
Oh
Yeah.
man.
a chili pepper or some lemon juice.
It's some.
Does he have any open cuts at all?
Yeah, probably. I'm actually trying to remember what all the damage he took was from.
All right. Well, while he is being held in place, I'm going to
I think
start.
you guys got zapped by you, so it's probably burns. It's probably like radiant damage.
All right, but still, burns don't feel great when you put salt on them.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I'll start massaging salt and a little bit of lemon into the wounds.
Ooh.
Now he's well seasoned for
Gonna
your
taste
grandma.
delicious. Yeah.
Yeah, so the rest of you are watching as Tromlin is putting like lemon and parsley and.
And I turn to the bucket and say, "Grandma, how would you like this one prepared?" See, the bucket hisses at everything.
The bucket does not hiss,
Ew.
but where is the bucket right now?
I'm always holding it pretty much.
It's on your belt
That
or in your hand.
It's clipped to my belt or something if I'm not holding it.
I like those keys you have hanging off your belt loop.
Yeah.
Except it's a flesh-eating bucket.
I will say that a deathly chill runs through Copernicus's arm from where he's hanging onto the bucket, and it forces him to basically jerk away and drop it, and the bucket lands on the ground on its
That's not
side.
good. I apologize to the bucket. I did not mean to offend her.
I assume sorry, Grandma, or sorry, bucket.
Sorry, Grandma. Didn't mean to upset you.
Okay. Just so Greg knows, these people are talking to a pail. That's a thing.
Pail
Apparently,
seems to be his grandma.
he seems to be related to this bucket, or thinks he is. Big people. Eye rolls. So what next?
I'm gonna ask again. Were you part of the raiding party last night? I can ask this question as many times, as many ways as you like, but you won't like each successive asking. I can promise you.
He
that.
is. He. Well, I'm going to give him a willpower save, just not on the spell, but on the how well does he keep his cool as through this pain. Actually, a Constitution save is probably more relevant. He makes it. He is continuing to be
Ooh.
recalcitrant. Do you wish to probe?
Yeah, all right.
Right. I'm
It's
giving him
more humane
disadvantage.
this way.
I'm giving him disadvantage on the saving throw, and he has therefore failed it. Your DC is 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay, my low roll is a 10. He's failed. So you probe deeper, and you do indeed dredge up the memory of him being involved in the attack. He definitely was.
Can I determine anything else from the memory of like his impressions of it, images that stuck in his mind as a result of it? Anything like that?
If it fails, you get insight into his reasoning, emotional state, something that looms large in his mind, assumably related to the thing you're interested in. Yeah, you get the impression that first of all, just to hand wave a bit of this, just to speed it up, I would say you would get the you come to realize that he is a sorcerer of wild magic. You kind of already got a bit of inkling of that, and you have the Arcana to sort of know what you were. Chaos bolts were being thrown at you. It seems pretty logical. And he specifically remembers being like of import in that outing. There were 9 warriors, himself and one other sorcerer, and the leader who was running the raid to make this dozen soldiers or warriors. So yeah, not only was he there, but he played an important part in setting up the ambush.
Tell me about the sacrifice. I just want to see what comes up when I give it that open-ended.
There's a bit of confusion, like he isn't sure exactly what you mean, but I'm just going to keep the same roll that you made before here. He deeper probing reveals that he realizes what you mean after a moment. Oh, that.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the impression very quickly that the other sorcerer that he was with and the leader were kind of running that whole show, and everybody else was just doing what they were told.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an offering to the gods that is, shows that they are in the right. You also, by the way, incidentally, are going to get the name of this group. They're called the Night Slayers. This tribe. But he clearly does not know what was going on with that ritual. That was like a crazy offering to a warlock patron. He sees it as just a offering to the gods. It's important. You get the impression that he is the junior shaman, effectively, for what they're obviously sorcerers, but that's what they're going with. And the other one was the one who kind of like directed the offering. So yeah, everything he knows about that ritual is wrong.
Okay.
He thinks it was like a religious observance, effectively, to the gods, to sort of hey, like, these are our enemies and they are garbage and nothing, and we're going to do this thing and the gods will smile on us.
Oh, precious no.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what we get for picking intentionally picking the worst of the two sorcerers.
The weaker willed sorcerer, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got the guy who slept through orientation day, and perfect.
The
You don't know
lesser
if
of
that
two
other
evils.
sorcerer. You don't know that that other sorcerer was the one who went on the
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
mission.
So we could have had like someone experienced but who wasn't there, or someone incompetent who was.
Yeah.
All right. What is your goal as a group? What do you want?
I'm gonna roll again because he's really gonna resist. He's really gonna resist that. However, he's not good at it.
Yay!
I have rolled a pair of 8s on my disadvantaged roll. So, your disadvantage means nothing because I rolled equally shitty on both dice. However, that still means he fails. Yeah, it's all jingoism. It's like we will take these lands. He in his head he refers to the Southrons, and it takes you a few moments to realize he means the rest of the Northrons and not actually Southrons. Like to you, when you say Southron, you're thinking like
Oh,
the
gotcha.
people, like the people of the South, the people of the Ibiza and Alphalicia and the other and Wahad and the other lands of the South, and not like the Northlands of Karsh. And these guys are obviously from the hills to the north, and they're talking about the rest of the Northerners of Karsh, as the foul Southrons. And so they're like, we're going to ascendancy. This actually rings a very distinctive historical bell for Copernicus, because of course, as you know, you have the historian trait, and I've given you some of the game history. And so you're aware of the last sort of great threat to the north was in nomadic tribes. In this case, the nomadic tribes to the east, banding together into larger groups that eventually threatened all of the city-states, because the north had traditionally been very disparate city-states, and it was only because of the war, because of the raiders banding all together under one warlord, that the north even became a single kingdom under Karsh, under the leadership of House Strack, as people of course are aware. King Nedrick Strack is the king of the north. I see some confusion from Danielle, but Glorpa knows none of this, right? Because Glorpa was like, "Who's the? Oh, there's a king in the north. I don't know. I live in a swamp."
This is why I played somebody who's lived in a swamp
What's a
for
king?
60 years. Right.
So this rhetoric sounds very familiar to Copernicus as a student of history.
So this is Chagakhan
Nomadic
and the
tribe of
Radical
warlords.
tribes.
Yeah, well, this is in a different area, different tribes, but
Oh, yeah, I know,
same,
but similar to that.
same idea, right? So they at least this guy believes that their tribe is ascendant and that they are going to like conquer all the other bandits, conquer tribes, and come south and conquer the north. To what degree there's a real threat, you're not sure this guy's mind is the right place to assess that.
Yeah.
But for as far as he's concerned, it certainly is the case.
So for the rest
As
of
far
us,
as he's
this is
concerned,
just like Perny staring into this man's eyes and asking
Yeah,
questions and no conversation.
yeah, he's just asking questions and then staring him down with no words being spoken.
Too
It's
bad we're
very
not learning
creepy.
anything from this.
You do all hear like
Sure
a
is
kind
trying.
every time he says something, there's kind of an answering sound, but it's like this, whispered voice from all around that maybe is coming from the bucket. Every time he asks a question, there's like a
Ooh.
kind of chant in the echoes of night.
That's very normal fisherman stuff.
Yeah, it's just
Right.
he's just fishing.
Can I use my history buffness to just remember if the Raven cult, or because I know there was dark magic involved in Chaka Khan's raiders. I just want to see if it's literally if this could be the same magic that they were.
Dipping back into the history,
Yeah.
you would have to like get to a library or to your library to kind of sit down and pour through books just to look for similarities. Nothing jumps out. Nothing makes you go, oh, the stories that I heard about about the Khan and his immediate advisors, they had a symbol of a raven. Huh, what are the chances?
Mhm.
Nothing like that jumps out. There might be something if you like dug into some serious volumes of history and magic, but nothing that's going to come out that off the
I will
top.
ask him, has the way that your group uses magic changed recently? Have you seen new influences?
He's going to try very hard to resist that. Yeah, I think my low is a 13 without his bonus. It's a wisdom save, right? He's got a +3, so 16 he makes it. So that's going to break the spell.
Can I further disadvantage him or no? With a hero.
That's with a disadvantage.
With a disadvantage.
I will give you though, without spending anything, he tried much harder to keep that a secret.
Okay.
And the nice thing about a yes or no question,
yeah,
it strongly implies that the answer is yes. You just don't have know anything specific about it.
Okay. I'm going to say that I think that I've learned most of what I will from him. Does anyone else have any questions for him? Then what do we want to do with a murderer whose usefulness has expended itself?
Can I tickle him?
Technically, yes, you can tickle him.
Flurper walks up and starts tickling his belly.
I hold him real still for you.
Thanks.
I
knew you would.
want to see where this is going, so I'm definitely not.
The expression on his face is just like both, like the response you normally expect from someone who's a little ticklish getting tickled, but also just utter confusion.
That's all I was looking
What
for.
fresh hell is this?
Yeah.
I won't break.
What?
This is a kind of torture I've never experienced. What? How?
I
Flurper
mean,
just goes and walks
theoretically, we should probably turn him into the authorities. The problem is the authority is not someone I want to deal with. So
What about that
kill him?
wizard? What if the wizard comes here?
Hmm.
Can you
True.
talk to him somehow with your brain?
I can't, no, but we can tie him up and leave him a note for him. I mean, he can do whatever he wants with him.
Probably better if we make him sleep first.
Oh, okay. I pull my sap out and walk up behind the guy. I cast sleep through my sap.
Yes, the big sleep. That's a good.
Actual mechanics of the sap is a stun, so it's a very short term.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But it's all good for story purposes.
Is there any
Actually,
reason...
if it really matters to you guys to put him to sleep, I would call this like a lesser hero point. So someone could put an inspiration on this just to edit the scenery.
All right, I'll do it. I'll use
just...
on mine.
Okay.
So, yeah, one inspiration for trauma, and then you just basically sap him, but we'll call that extended unconsciousness.
All right.
For
Good night.
Yep.
Abracadabra, you sleep now.
And I'll tie him up extra good.
How many miles are we from town?
A fair ways. I think you're between the two marches. Like you could probably get back to town in one day of like forced march.
Okay.
If you had feted with you to have like all the rangery ways through places. If you didn't have feted with you, you would guess it'd be like 2 or 3 days.
Oh wow.
Because you're in the wilderness, right? Like there ain't no roads.
That makes sense. Oh, I'm gonna search the guy because make sure
Oh,
there's
yeah.
anything on them not worth taking.
Because you grabbed him in a hurry, you didn't grab his like main gear, like the axe and the stuff he dropped when he was held. But which whatever it was an axe and a shield. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Or sorry, no, these guys didn't have the axes. They had swords, like short swords.
Yeah, the axes are all in the river right now, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a short sword. Because he never got a chance to draw it, did he? This is the one who didn't stab you, so he's still got it in his sheath. So he's got a short sword in his sheath. He's got a curved knife. Like it's not the wavy shape; it's just a curved knife that you get the impression is like for either general use or like religious observances or both. Beyond that, he doesn't have a lot of gear. He's got this cloak, which is like really, really good at blending into the environment. And I'll actually just because if you're during a short rest, it's easy for Copernicus to do the identify ritual.
Mhm.
That this is a very like simplistic magic item. This cloak basically gives like a minor stealth bonus for hiding in the wilderness specifically. It doesn't help in cities, but it helps in the wilderness. It's a wild cloak. Other than that, like he hasn't got any armor. He's got like buckskin basically clothing that's all like dyed dark grays and fur boots of the same type. He doesn't have like a purse or anything like that on him, which makes you suspect that like his stuff is all back at the camp. Like he's clearly not currently traveling. He was on guard or something. And he has a horn. He has like a simple like animal horn that's been hollowed out to like make calls on. That's just on a strap on the back of his belt. And you're like, oh, like an alarm horn, like the ones that you were hearing earlier. Speaking of which, I should say the horns continued for a while after you found your little hidey hole. And Sam, I'll say that while these guys are doing their crazy stuff that Greg wants no part of, you could easily have slipped away just to kind of keep an eye on things. And you would have noted three main things. One, another group of 6 warriors came out from the camp specifically to like find what was going on. Also, 2 of the warriors that were thrown into the river eventually made their way back up out of the rocks. Bedraggled, having lost their axes, but they made contact with the other group, the group of 6, and they all went back to the camp together.
Oh wow.
Is the last thing. But they've like doubled the guard on that side of the camp. And there's like quite a lot of activity going there. Like they're clearly going to plan to put together some kind of
Hunting
search
party.
or something, or hunting party or something. So you don't want to stay here forever.
Right. Well, I convey this information to my fellow.
Greg comes back to the little hollow in the hills.
There's going to be. They've developed the guard. They're setting out a search party. They're going to be looking for you. And me.
Oh, and they know how many we are now too, because like if those guys were in the river.
That's true.
Well,
I guess we need to start moving.
yeah, that's too many guys to fight at once.
Greg, this is a big fight. Do you want to join us, or do you want to go on your way?
Well, that's kind of a meta question, I suppose, isn't it?
We should also try and find what happened to Fetid. Like,
So
where'd he go?
We're nearing the end of the night, at the end of the game, for the night. But I know you were really looking forward to playing with Jeff, and he couldn't make it this game. Did you want to extend your guest appearance to a second show just so you can have a little more fun with us and get to do some Quaggle buddies play with Jeff.
Yeah. So you guys will be playing in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yep.
Yeah, so we'll
Yep.
be playing it in 2 weeks if that's plausible for you.
I think
In
so.
which case, I won't have to write out Greg just yet.
Yeah.
We'll extend it for one more game.
Let's figure we will probably do that, but Greg will be slightly cagey in case it doesn't work out for some reason.
So Greg goes like, "Well, we'll see."
Yeah, he's like, I'm a busy
I
guy,
might be
you
busy
know.
that night.
This is exactly what I was trying to do, and I was waiting for you to come help me do it. But
It's fine. I got important dog
think
things
so.
to do.
But it is 7 o'clock, and
Yeah, I don't know. It's late. Whatever.
gotta go.
So another question, a question for the group. What do you figure your goal is going to be with these guys? Are you going to try and like wipe out this camp? Because remember, your original reason for coming to the bandit camps is always to try and make contact with one of the leaders.
I don't like
No.
them anymore.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
This is the group that Shaylin Tark was supposed to be leading.
Yeah. And I mean, our job was to make sure that the bandit infighting stopped so that peace would resume and the merchants would have their stuff.
It
I
sounds
don't think
like these guys are not going to stop.
no. So I think it's make them dead. I think that's what we're looking at, but I think that we're outgunned. So, or I guess in character, I should say, I think we should consult the wisdom of Dan Gulf
I concur.
Yeah.
and see if we can get some.
Also, what about those other
support.
bandits? Like, if they're fighting, maybe we could get the help of the other guys against these guys.
Aren't they all dead?
I believe we.
Just
That
one
camp.
camp.
Oh,
There were
it's one camp.
multiple camps. And in fact, the one that was all killed, apparently, like you never saw a Shagrat
That's true.
among the dead.
Yeah.
Shagrat's got to be pretty mad that a bunch of his guys are dead.
And I do believe that this group, the Night Stalkers, Night Killers,
Night
Slayers.
Slayers.
Night Slayers.
Players.
That they call themselves the Night Slayers, and I do believe that they won't stop until they've taken all of the countryside outside the town, and they may even have designs on the town. They seem to be having their eyes set much higher than just some petty bandit feuding. And I
Well,
believe
that
there may
makes
have been.
my job a lot easier. I really wasn't sure which one I was going to side with, and, like, I was supposed to figure out which one was going to, you know, be in charge. But, now I know. Not these guys.
I agree.
How much of the stuff that you pulled out of his brain are you telling these guys?
I think like there's none of it that Perny's gonna try and withhold particularly, but I don't think he might just like share it over time, like just as we're walking or whatever.
You've mentioned that that they're called the Night Slayers
Mhm.
and that they have designs on the town.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna say that I believe that there may be a new influence in their camp, a new type of magic or a dark force they've aligned themselves with that has changed their methods, their goals, their power, and I believe that may be the Raven Queen, but we'll only know as we learn more. This is what I suspect.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Any further questions? We can go a couple more minutes if they're just to complete the role playing here. I don't know if some of the other characters might have some questions for Perny that brings out more information.
I'm just at a point where I want this whole thing done so my friend doesn't have a debt.
Aw. Orp is still just kind of
Annoyingly
hanging.
more complicated.
Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
easy in Ugna's mind. She's like, great, cool. Make these guys lose.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, they're the bigger threat, obviously. They're involved with a warlock and a cult.
I'm just here for the ride. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Yeah. You're just here for the plants.
Awesome. Then we can wrap up there.
Cool.
As Greg, assumably, is going to take you away from here and you figure out which way you want to go from here. Can we just sort of quickly So did I get that right? That you're thinking of heading back to town, or was there something else you were gonna do here first?
Do we
Just
want
so
to
I know what's gonna happen at the beginning of next game.
Do we want to observe the camp for a bit before we go, or does that feel a little high risk at this point? And maybe we do want to beat a retreat.
Yeah, do we want to maybe, like, try and get in contact with Dangolf and see how close he is?
Sure, worth a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy needs
Yeah,
to
and
respond
if
to our phone
he's
calls here.
not around anywhere near,
He's ghosting us.
yeah.
Right?
We got ghosted by a wizard.
I can't remember. Peter, does Copernicus's notes in the book? Can people respond to that, or is it one way only? I think it's one way only. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think they can. I think they can respond if they speak out loud. I think it's just sending or whatever.
I also think if we can't get a hold of
But
Dangolf,
I don't have Dangolf in it.
if we can't get
No,
a hold
but
of
I was
Dangolf,
thinking
we
about
should
Fetid.
find the other bandit camp, like the not cultist bandits, and try and tell them what happened to Shagrat's guys. See if we can get their help on things.
Yeah, and I think that we believe that Shagrat was not amongst the dead. So yeah,
Yeah.
we probably want to just find Shagrat.
Yeah,
straight up.
exactly. So find Dangolf,
Well,
sign Shagrat.
When you bring that up, this brings me to a perfect point to end on, because when you bring that up, Greg, you perk up because you've been scouting these wildernesses for a while. You know where all the camps are.
Yes, I do.
So when they say they want to find another bandit camp, you're like,
I know
Sure.
one. I know exactly where it is.
so
Awesome.
let us end there. And I'm just double checking the Tome Warlock feat or power that you're talking about there, because I think I'm going to say that if you do have that ability with Pact to the Tome, it's one of your Eldritch invocations, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what it's called? It's probably on your character sheet. Oh, Far Scribe. That's what it was called. I just found it. Yes, it works like a sending spell.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So they can, in fact,
We can contact
respond.
Fetid. Yeah.
Cool.
So when you reached out to Fetid and told him where you guys were, he responded with something along the lines of, "Sounds good. On my way."
Yay.
And
So I'll
that
update
my
him.
right back in of Jeff.
Yeah.
Then I'll update him on we're gonna try and find Shagrat, and this is the direction that we're going next.
Okay, that is it, everybody.
Hey.
I want to a couple quick things for the stream. Everyone will recall that, or everyone who was here last time will recall that last game we announced that we were going to be doing sketch draws for our patrons, or for our patrons, for our subscribers. Wrong service. So the subscribers on this stream get to be included in a draw each game for a sketch card. And I know a couple of the sketches are put together. Do we want to show off a couple things, Alina, or on the art? Or do you want to?
Let me see. If I
We can at least pull
can
up Jeff's. That one
I
was
mean,
handy.
This is not a one that we are doing as sketch cards, but we got some Lar fan art.
We got some more Lar fan art.
No, God, there's so many. So we got
El
Gato.
El Gato, which is
Lar is a very big fan of this
good.
show.
Very, very good.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And
so
then
much.
we have some really cute ones of where is he there?
Are you pulling up one now?
Yep.
I do want to say I don't think Paul
It's
is
Greg.
here in the stream right now.
Oh,
But
look at him.
Be receiving Paul should be receiving his sketch card
Yeah, after the stream tonight.
after the stream tonight. Should we do the draw for the next?
Let's. I'm just downloading the
Next one.
subscriber list, and then we can have our chart.
I love that.
I love this
That
one.
El Gato
I love this
is
one
hilarious.
It's so cute.
Oh, it's so good.
And then I'm just going to
Delay
show
on
off
mine.
some of the sketches that we have received.
My
There's
stream's
Jeff's
all
sketch.
delayed, so I'm still seeing like 2 draws ago, but that's okay.
Fetid has 2 hats.
2 hats. 2 hats.
2 hats and the goose. The goose is there. And then this one is from our Grandpa Perny. Peter drew a breadsword.
Yes.
Red sword. A crescent blade, if you will. I mean, croissant blade.
God damn it.
Good.
Solid.
Solid.
Now I have to make a magic item out of that.
Breadsword. So yeah, those are the sort of fine offerings that you can get through this.
Yeah, so if you are, the idea is that when we do the draw, Alina is putting together a sketch card that is basically a single piece of art that has all of the sketches from all of the artists. Do you have the list of subscribers that we can draw from for the next one here?
Just getting it open here.
We might as well make the draw live.
Yeah. Okay. Are you gonna roll a d12?
Yep.
Sweet.
And you got them in an order?
Yep.
How's number 10?
10 is 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lady Toad and Yoshi.
Yay, Lady Toad and
Yeah.
Yoshi, you are going to receive the next sketch card from the stream.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations.
Hey, rats.
All right, and let's just end here with some shout outs. Thanks everyone, but particularly to our guest, Sam.
Yay, Sam.
Everybody,
Yay.
please check out
Sam.
Sam's comic and Patreon. You can see the links. And thanks for coming out, Sam, although we are going to see you again next time, quite probably.
Yay.
Yay!
Next
We'll get
time.
some
One
more
of
of Greg.
One of us.
And then, as usual, does anyone have any projects right now that they want to shout out on the stream before we call her quits? I know that Peter is relaxing now after the extreme
God, right?
Kickstarter.
Yep.
If you go to the Twitter account OOC Popeye, my spouse has been doing like out of context Popeye panels from the comic strip. They also have a Gumroad set up, and they're basically for free putting out lost Popeye strips, storylines that have never really been reprinted. So they've just released the 4th issue today. So these are storylines that took place after Seeger passed away and a new team took over the comic. See,
Very cool.
Cool.
and like I said, they're free on Gumroad. They're not charging for these, so if you want to read some lost comic history.
Cool.
Very, very cool.
Nice.
Any other shout outs?
I'll shout out the other shows I've got. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. EST, I will be doing a... let me tell you about my character. Or my friend Maggie randomly generates D&D characters, and I draw the really weirdos that we make. She's got these amazing charts that come up with like weird character flaws and quirks, and it's a lot of fun. We're generally real goofy for an hour and a half, and you get to watch me draw, so that's fun. And then on every Wednesday, I am on twitch.tv/something5e, where we do a horror comedy actual play called Something Wicked. And I am having a ton of fun with that game, so come check us out on Wednesday. We just started a new season. It's a really good place to jump in because you don't really need to know a lot about the past episodes. We're at a fancy party this season, so we have to try and not fight and talk our way out of things, and it's really hard.
The dragons.
Yeah.
Any other shout outs? If not, I will just shout out our, as always, our wonderful Shadow DM, Dan. I don't remember if Dan has got the website set up yet, but if so, we're going to get that posted somewhere soon here, I think is the idea.
Link to his site.
But in the meantime, Dan, if you already have that link, throw it in the chat. And if not, we'll get it going soon. And thank you all for coming. We will see y'all next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Hi.